Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new Halacha 4 units for Friday, 15th day of November, 17th day of CHESHVAN. More laws about salt. You know that as we've been saying, we dip our bread in salt at our table. And the reason is kind of famous, you might know it. It's because we view our tables as a mizbeach, as an altar, and we view what we're eating there as if it's a korban, a sacrifice on the altar. And we have a rule of all the sacrifices on the altar that we put salt on all of our sacrifices. Hence, at our table, our altar, our bread, which is like our sacrifice, gets salt on it. Another point to just add is that we have this belief that a world does not exist without salt. Salt is just integral; it's everywhere, and the world doesn't exist without Torah. So having salt at our table is kind of reminiscent of how, just as it is pervasive and throughout the entire creation, so too is Torah pervasive and crucial to all of creation. That's why salt is at our table. According to the Ben Ish Chai, you should leave the salt on your table until after you complete the benching. So if you are clearing the table, to make it nice towards the end of the meal, but leave the salt on the table until after benching. Okay, other laws on salt. There are, I would say, I guess, there is a very small minority of people who like salt to the point where they would actually eat it. If you enjoy eating salt or you enjoy drinking, brine, salty stuff, then you would actually make a bracha on it. The bracha would be shahakol nihiyeh b'dvara. Most people aren't in that category, but if you were, then you would actually make a bracha on your shahakal. You do not make a bracha achrona. That means you do not make a bracha after you finish eating salt, because you need a requisite amount of eating in order to be able to make a bracha after something, and no human can eat like a full chunk of salt, and not usually anyway. And lastly, to the mitzvah of mayim achronim, some people wash their hands with a small amount of water at the end of the meal, and one of the reasons given is because of our topic here, which is salt. There was a salt that they called melach sedomis, Sodom salt, and it was very, very, very strong. And if a little bit of it got into your salt, and God forbid touched you like in the eye or something, it could cause terrible damage to the eye. And therefore, the rabbis instituted this rule about washing hands at the end of the meal. Now, not everyone says that salt, the melach Sodom kind of salt, still is around with us today, but the custom has remained, and that's why many people do wash their hands at the end of a meal, right before they bench. Thanks for logging on. Have a great Shabbos. Log on again after Shabbos for more. Bye-bye.